Welcome to our Hong Kong Brief program. I'm your host, Jenny. Today, we have some exciting news to share. First up, food lovers will be thrilled to hear about the latest dining options in Hong Kong, with new restaurants like Spice Bazaar and Minato offering mouth-watering dishes that are sure to tantalize your taste buds. Don't miss out on the chance to explore these new culinary delights. In other news, we have an inspiring story about a 9-year-old climbing prodigy, Veronica Chik, who has made waves in the climbing community by becoming the youngest person in China to conquer a challenging bouldering route. Her determination and resilience are truly commendable, and she hopes to inspire other young climbers along the way. Lastly, we turn our attention to the upcoming Budget 2025, where tough decisions are on the horizon for Hong Kong's public servants, including potential pay freezes and job cuts. The financial outlook is challenging, but the government is looking for ways to address the projected deficit. Please stay tuned for more detailed coverage. South China Morning Post highlights the vibrant dining scene in Hong Kong for the weekend of February 28 to March 2, showcasing an array of culinary experiences to tantalize food lovers. On Friday, diners can indulge in the smoky delights of Spice Bazaar, an Indian tandoor restaurant led by executive chef Balram Yadav, where the menu reflects the rich street food culture of India. Saturday brunch at Minato offers a seasonal 3-course Torio bento served in exquisite handcrafted porcelain boxes, featuring luxurious ingredients like A5 Miyazaki Wagyu. Concluding the weekend, the Chinese Library presents its icons of flavor tasting menu, featuring a sumptuous selection of classic and contemporary Chinese dishes, perfect for sharing with family or friends. In another inspiring story, South China Morning Post introduces 9-year-old Veronica Chik, a rising star in the climbing community, who has made headlines by becoming the youngest climber in China to conquer a challenging 50-meter bouldering route known as the Rock of Life. After hours of determination and multiple attempts, Veronica's perseverance paid off, showcasing her dedication to the sport. Guided by her coach Lu Yongbong and supported by her family, she continues to break barriers, having previously excelled in national competitions. With plans to tackle more difficult climbs in Spain, Veronica aims to inspire other children to embrace climbing, a sport that recently made its Olympic debut. Lastly, the South China Morning Post addresses the challenges faced by students in Hong Kong regarding their spoken English assessments. A former English teacher raises concerns about the rigid time limits imposed on students during their presentations, which can create undue stress and hinder their performance. The letter emphasizes the need for a more supportive approach to the school-based assessment, SBA, advocating for better preparation and the possibility for students to request multiple assessments to accurately showcase their oral language skills. The author calls for English teachers to enhance their understanding of the SBA's objectives, ensuring that students receive the guidance they need to thrive in their communication abilities, particularly in the context of real-world scenarios. Nikkei Asia reports that TikTok is currently in negotiations with the Trump administration to find a compromise that would allow the Chinese parent company ByteDance to maintain control of the platform while addressing the U.S. government's seller ban ultimatum. The discussions, led by U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance and National Security Advisor Mike Waltz, focus on a potential deal that would increase U.S. ownership stakes without transferring the algorithm, which remains a contentious issue. The Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary-Controlled Applications Act imposes strict limitations on foreign ownership, particularly from adversarial nations like China, complicating the negotiations. The ultimate fate of TikTok hinges on President Trump's decision, who has the authority to amend the requirements or extend deadlines, potentially allowing more time for a resolution. According to the South China Morning Post, Hong Kong stocks experienced a rebound after a 2-day decline, as investors returned to Chinese tech stocks following a correction in their U.S. counterparts. The Hang Seng Index saw a significant increase, with major tech firms like Alibaba and JD.com leading the charge. This surge came amid growing optimism that the Chinese government might enhance support for technological innovation in light of the intensifying US-China rivalry. Premier Li Qiang's recent calls for technological breakthroughs further fueled this optimism, as concerns about stagflation and inflation due to US tariffs loom over the market. In another development reported by the South China Morning Post, Hong Kong's Financial Secretary Paul Chan-Imopa is set to unveil the budget for 2025, which is expected to include measures aimed at cutting public spending and addressing a projected deficit of 100 billion Hong Kong dollars. The budget speech will be closely watched for potential pay freezes for public servants and changes to the financially unsustainable transport fare scheme. Economists are cautioning that quick fixes are unlikely, and the implications of these budgetary decisions could have far-reaching effects on public servants and the overall economy, including discussions about new revenue sources such as basketball betting. South China Morning Post reports that the Hong Kong government is set to collaborate with major tech firms to integrate artificial intelligence, AI, training into the education system, aiming to enhance students' tech literacy from a young age. This initiative is part of the upcoming budget speech by Finance Minister Paul Chan-Imopa, who is addressing a significant budget deficit. The government's commitment to AI education is underscored by the implementation of compulsory AI courses at local universities and the adoption of AI tools across various government departments. Lawmakers emphasize the importance of a structured curriculum that focuses on understanding AI concepts rather than just product usage, which can better prepare students for the future tech landscape. In another piece, South China Morning Post highlights the journeys of Hong Kong athletes Vera Lui and Tiffany Yu as they seek to achieve glory at the National Games of China. Both athletes have ventured outside Hong Kong to enhance their training, with Lui finding renewed momentum in the US and Yu working with her longtime coach in the UK. As they prepare for the November Games, their goals are not just about personal bests but also about breaking national records. Lui aims to surpass the qualifying benchmark in her sprint hurdles, while Yu is focused on breaking the 6.5-meter barrier in long jump to secure her place on the podium. Their experiences reflect the determination and resilience needed to compete at elite levels. Lastly, the South China Morning Post discusses the creative success of the animated film Ne Zha 2 and its implications for Hong Kong's cultural industry. As the film gains international recognition, it serves as a model for Hong Kong to redefine its cultural soft power amidst challenges in original IP development. The article suggests that Hong Kong can learn from the collaborative and well-structured industry practices seen in mainland China, particularly in integrating technology and creativity. By fostering partnerships between academia and industry, and leveraging digital innovations like NFTs, Hong Kong could revitalize its cultural landscape and position itself as a global hub for creative content, potentially leading to a new era of cultural identity on the world stage. Nikkei Asia reports on Malaysia's ambitious urban renewal bill, which aims to revamp aging urban areas but has sparked concerns among homeowners about potential displacement and overdevelopment. The legislation proposes lowering the consent threshold for redevelopment projects, making it easier to initiate changes in cities like Kuala Lumpur and heritage towns such as Ipoh. Minister Na Kor Ming emphasizes the urgent need for modernization to ensure safety and livability, while the bill is expected to unlock significant economic value and create jobs. However, critics worry that the new rules may empower developers at the expense of vulnerable residents, leading to potential abuse of the law. Residents like Han Jun-soo express fears of a property oversupply, while others highlight the need for adequate preparations for communities transitioning to new living arrangements. SCMP opinion discusses Hong Kong's economic slowdown and the government's initiative to attract foreign firms through the Office for Attracting Strategic Enterprises, OASES. As the city seeks to diversify its business landscape, OASES is targeting Europe, particularly the UK and France, to encourage investments in innovation and technology. Despite initial concerns about geopolitical tensions, recent shifts in political dynamics have created opportunities for stronger ties between Hong Kong and European countries. The article suggests that Hong Kong can leverage its position as a gateway to the Greater Bay Area and beyond, capitalizing on the growing global interest in technology and innovation. South China Morning Post highlights the challenges faced by Hong Kong office landlords amid a supply glut and a trend of tenants seeking higher quality spaces. Analysts predict a decline in office rents as new premium office space enters the market, prompting landlords to offer incentives to retain tenants. The flight to quality trend is evident as firms prioritize better facilities and locations, exemplified by the law firm Holman Fenwick Williams' recent relocation to a larger, more modern office. Despite the overall weak demand in the office property market, the deal reflects a commitment to long-term growth in the competitive business environment of Hong Kong. As vacancy rates rise, the future of the office market will depend on various economic factors and government policies. South China Morning Post highlights the challenges Hong Kong faces as it prepares for its upcoming budget announcement, with a projected deficit nearing 100 billion Hong Kong dollars. Economists urge the public to temper their expectations, emphasizing that quick fixes are unrealistic and that the focus should be on long-term financial health. Financial Secretary Paul Chan-Imopa's strategies must prioritize restoring public confidence and addressing structural issues to prevent the deficit from becoming a chronic problem. Proposed measures include capping subsidized transport trips for the elderly, freezing civil servant wages, and possibly legalizing basketball betting to diversify revenue streams. However, the government will need substantial political will to implement changes that affect citizens' livelihoods, and the focus will also be on technological investments to prepare for a complex global environment. In another article, the South China Morning Post discusses the potential for enhancing Hong Kong's Stock Connect program to attract more foreign investment. Lyndon Chow from ASIFMA argues that improvements such as introducing block trades and allowing trading during Hong Kong holidays could boost market liquidity and investor confidence. The recent rally in tech stocks has generated optimism, driven by policy shifts from Beijing and successful innovations from startups like DeepSeek. Chow emphasizes the importance of policy stability and access to hedging instruments for fostering a more robust investment environment, as the current market's momentum relies on the competitiveness and innovative capacity of Chinese companies. Lastly, the South China Morning Post covers the groundbreaking work of Professor Yang Hongxia at Hong Kong Polytechnic University, who is developing affordable, domain-specific AI models. Yang's team aims to democratize AI development by enabling domain experts to train smaller models using accessible computing resources. This approach addresses the limitations of current large language models, which often lack the specificity needed for specialized fields. Yang's innovative training pipeline, InFi-Fusion, has shown promising results, outperforming larger models on various benchmarks while significantly reducing resource requirements. Her work represents a shift towards maximizing the potential of smaller, focused models, which may lead to new capabilities in AI development and greater transparency in the industry. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6-do brief via email.
Scrolling through the headlines, another crazy day. 6 degrees of stories, connecting in their way. From the